Jimmy. What's up, buddy? Miss you. All right, Chooms, what's going on? JonJonTheWise here. Let me get my light going. And I got another Cyberpunk video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and supporting and all that. Night City 2045 is going to be coming out soon, so I wanted to take a look at the dev blogs. This is 1 through 7. 7 just dropped today, and it looks like they're dropping little hints here and there, talking about it, you know, so I wanted to take a look because I haven't really gotten a chance, so this is kind of like a blind reaction for me. Other than that, you guys know what it is. Social media, Discord, you know where to find it. It's all in the description below. They just released, Artel Sorian did, a new copy of the core rulebook with all the new changes, with all the changes that they've made and edits and patches and stuff. So the new printing of the core rulebook is available. If you want to support this channel and buy that at the same time, you can either put in the promo code JonJon. I believe it's JonJon. Let me double check. It is JonJonTheWise at checkout. Or you could just use the link in the description below, our talsorianstore.com/JonJonTheWise. And that is my affiliate link. All right. So now that that's out of the way, let's get straight to it. Like I said, this is going to be me just reacting to it. I haven't seen it. I'm excited. Night City 2045. Night City 2020 is one of my all-time favorite source books. It's one of the best ones out there, and it's relevant even for Cyberpunk Red. So let's look through this and see what we find. Let me know if my camera placement is no good. Everybody in chat. Am I live on YouTube too? Let me double check. Oh, you didn't? Okay, my bad. That sucks. Want to make sure that we're all good. Yeah, says I'm live. I'm live. Is it working? Yeah, it's working just fine. Okay, cool. Let's get straight to it. Some of my art might be in there to know yet. Okay, we'll see. Hello, Chumbas. We're ramping up to the June 17th physical release of Night City 2045. You guys listen to my podcast with Rob Barefoot. He said that they're going to reveal it at Gamma, and then I think it's going to be released. So this year, June, we're going to get it. It's going to be awesome. With a weekly series of articles offering a sneak peek of the book. And in case you don't know yet, Night City 2045 is our big release for Cyberpunk Red. As the title suggests, it is a source book all about Night City in the year of 2045. Of course. I'm Jay Gray, line manager for Cyberpunk at Artalsorian Games. Shout out. And it is my privilege to be your guide on this journey into the dark future. Let's begin this multi-week trip with an outline of the book. And if you read to the end, you might get a treat in the form of a never-before-seen art. Sweet. All right, let's look at this artwork. Here's artwork by Neil Branquino. Neil's the best. He's awesome. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to hide it while I reveal the art. Neil's awesome. He does amazing work. And looks like we got some thugs jumping somebody. These guys look like some kind of scavengers or something, just jumping somebody on the side of the road. It says nomad parking over here on the side. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's Night City for you, bro. That's Night City. Everything checks out. North Haywood specifically. That's where we got, don't go to Haywood at the wrong time of the day. Kicking it off. All right, so this is just breaking down all the different pages and stuff like that. We got... this is breaking down all the pages. That's pretty cool. Okay. History of Night City. Yeah, they always do, like, lore and stuff in the beginning. Getting around Night City, vehicles, traffic, parking, public transport, and taxi services. This is big. A lot of my players have always asked me during my games, like, how do we get around, if we don't have a vehicle? How do we get around town? How do we, are there buses? Are there taxis? And, there's combat cab and everything that I know I've taken from the 2020 Night City source book. So I'm like, yeah, there is. This is how it works. But it's all basically just me supposing. And now we don't have to do that. Now we got it all. It's all there. Government and the city council, the law, NCPD, deputized security forces, the process of justice, and common punishments. Great. Police services, letting you know what's illegal, how things go down. Perfect. Public services, 9/11, Jesus Christ. 911, banking, medical care, and education. Perfect. We need that. It's good to know. Especially medical care. Sometimes the players, they get hurt and they're like, what do we do? Where do we go? And I'm like, I don't know. You got a Ripper Doc. And then now they have to come up. Now there's medical care. We know where it is. And I can even tell them, like, it's going to take them a little while to get there. And, so that's good. Utilities, electricity, water and sewer, garbage collection, CityNet. That's very important. And shopping. CityNet is basically the internet that is within the city. As we all know, there is no, like, World Wide Web. There's only, like, the city wide web. So it's like every hub has its own, like, internet. So that being explained more is awesome. All this other, like, small stuff is cool too. Like, it's good to know. Shopping is very important. Night City media, TV, radio, micro stations, pirate stations, scream sheets, and the data pool. Yeah, this is all basically like the flavor of Cyberpunk, It's good to see, like, what's going on the news and stuff like that. You know what? That's kind of like a weak spot for me as a game master. I think I need to implement more, like, scream sheets and TV stuff and radio stuff that has nothing to do with the campaign and has nothing to do with the players, because these are conversation starters. You know what I mean? Like, if I add it to my game, it's something that my players can use when they're interacting with NPCs, because that's what happens in real life. You meet up with people, you see people out there, and you guys conversate. So I think that's a weak spot. So this is good. I'll see what's going on. There's also, like, all kinds of other resources out there where you can make scream sheets and stuff like that. So Anyway, flash maps, 4 pages, great. End cart and rail lines, bars, brothels, casinos and clubs, housing, medical and markets. I mean, we all know that this is going to be huge. We have to know that. Night City factions, 21 pages of factions, contributions by all authors of the book. Amazing. 21 pages is a lot. I'm guessing that it might be 21 factions or multiple factions per page were yet to be seen, but it's really important to know the factions, and factions doesn't necessarily mean gangs, because we have gangs down here. It also means like organizations, just like government and all kinds of stuff. Criminal organizations, leaders, activities, themes, hangouts, fronts, identifiers, details, and data. That's cool. So there's 44 gangs, 6 organizations in crime. So this is like mafia stuff. This is like organized crime. Yeah, cool. I like that. Security organizations, leader, headquarters, details, and data. Very cool. 23 different security organizations. Whoa. So they're basically outnumbered by gangs 2-1, which is cool if you think about it. Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. Here's Night City 2045. What happens if I click on it? Oh, we get a little map. Night City 2045. Very cool. Easter Obey. Is there like a happy medium where I'm not fully zoomed in? Very cool. Oh yeah, so this is very much like reminiscent of the 2020 source book. You have these G13, F5, whatever. There's going to be a legend at the bottom of the page. At least it was in 2020. Where it tells you like what's there, what is that actual thing. And it's really cool because like if your players are at E2, you can tell them like, oh yeah, just down the street E5 is going on and E4 is going on. Down the street the other way is E3 is going on, and then you got the San Moro Bridge. So you can this can like help them have player agency and gives the game master a lot of things to work with as well. It's really cool. It shows like a living world. It kind of makes it like sandbox, and it's really fun. So, oh, here, look. Oh, no, this isn't the legend. Anyway, back to here. Nope. There we go. Nope. Oh, hold on. I messed up. I guess I had to go back. All right, here we go. It's the book that many I think have been waiting for, that Artal really need to get out. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people have been waiting for this book, me included. The meat of the book. All right. The districts. Each district begins with an introduction and information about the city manager, population, security provider, and recent history, then moves on to specific locations, each with a security code. Districts end with short biographies of interesting personalities important to the district and stat blocks of archetypal character types you might encounter there. Wow, that's cool. So you're in that section, you got a stat block already as a game master for people that are there. You have NPCs, you have the security code. So if you guys don't know what that means, in the Cyberpunk setting, in the Cyberpunk core rules and just the way that it's designed, every place has like a code of like how harsh the security is there, or how strict they are, or how loosey-goosey they are, whether they allow assault rifles, whether they don't, stuff like that. So it's really important to remind your players, make a skill check to know the security code of this area. And you don't specifically tell them it's a security code. You just tell them, that there's security here that don't tolerate assault rifles or open carry or any of that, or it's a corporate zone. You have to be dressed nice. There's a dress code, all that. So that's interesting. Recent history is good. Yeah, that's cool. The districts is a big deal. That's the meat of like what the book really gives you. It's like, as you guys are going from location to location, all these areas have their own districts. So we got a lot of cool stuff here. Little Europe, 23 locations, one district image, one district map. Okay. Yeah. Upper Marina has 40 locations. So Upper Marina has the most. Second by The university and the Glen. Yeah, cool. So those are like really populated areas. Old combat zone. Oh, yes. I love that they have the combat zone mapped out, the old combat zone. In-world ad. Dude, this is a complete breakdown of the book. It's pretty cool. Oh, here, Watson, 47, dude. 47. So yeah, every district has their own specific location. Dude, there's so much. How big is this book going to be? How many pages did they say it was? Did they say here? I guess at the bottom we'll know. We'll know at the bottom. Jesus Christ. That's so cool, man. There's so much stuff going on. All right, so that's devblog 1. Flor de Mayo. Okay, that is Spanish for flower of May. I don't know what that specific thing is, but this is cool to see this kind of artwork because it's showing you Night City in a way that we haven't seen before. It's a very Latin American vibe. This is like a Latin American district. You can obviously see there's like Latin American influences. There's like an abuelita right here with the chancla of doom. And then you got cyberware and tattoos. And this guy's part of the Peacekeeper, which is a guardian gang in Night City. And they basically go around like protecting people. They're like good guys, you know. I haven't really explored them in any of my games, but it's cool to know that there are guardian gangs out there. I don't think they're touched on at all in 2077. I don't remember a single guardian gang existing, which is kind of a shame. I haven't seen any party gangs or guardian gangs or even poser gangs, which is a real shame, you know, because that adds a lot of flavor to the world. So this is cool. I like it. All right, so that's devblog 1. Let's move on to devblog 2, all right? Welcome to Night City 2045, number 2, Timeline and Interface Red, Volume 5, pod available. All right, we'll look at the Night City stuff. Interface Red, we don't really care about. I mean, we do care, but it's not pertinent to what this is about. All right, here we go. Join us at Origins to celebrate having 312-page tome in your greedy, tired hands. So 312 pages, which almost rivals the core rulebook. So it's going to be a thick boy. Going to be a thick boy. All right, here's a cover for Night City 2045. This deserves its own look at here. Sick. It's awesome. It's flavorful. I love it. The color shows you like the time of the red. It's very, the sky is like almost blood crimson. These guys are crazy because they're strapped onto the top of the vehicle and they're messing with the police. Can we see their logo down there? Something Panther maybe. I don't know. I don't recognize this gang or organization. But oh, dude, look at this art. Oh, dude, there's an explosion here on this building. People just going about their day. That's the other thing. Yeah. There's Danger Gal headquarters, N54 Continental Brands. This is so cool, dude. This is so cool. NCPD zooming by in a firefight in the sky. So one of these guys crashes down, probably kills like innocent people. Sick. I like it. I'm a fan. I approve. There we go. Bad Moon Studio. They make great artwork. As we revealed last week, the chapter on Night City facts is 19 pages long. 5 of those pages are dedicated to a history of our favorite dark future metropolis and contain 2 things: a lecture on the city's history transcribed from an NCU class and a timeline. NCU class, Night City University class. Interesting. Lecture on the city's history. So it's from the perspective of a university student or class. That's cool. Want to see the timeline now? I'm feeling anxious to share, so why not? Fair warning, the timeline is just a brief summary. The juicy details are in the transcribed lecture. You'll need to buy the books for those. Stick around to the end to see a new piece of art, Night City from Night City 2045. Cool. So this is a lot of stuff that we already know from the core rulebook, but it's cool to know. I don't think I'm going to go through this one by one. It's just cool to know that this exists. You know, it's about Richard Knight, who, you know, found Morro Bay and started Night City. So that's cool. Turf wars. Yeah. Is there stuff about the mafia? Because that was a big part of organized crime. Was a big part of the 2020 core rule book or 2020 source book, because organized crime was also like a big thing in like at the time in the 90s and stuff like that. It's a step up than some art they've used before. I mean, I don't agree with that, but everyone has their own opinion. As long as you like it, that's good. I don't see anything about organized crime here. I wonder why they kind of just got away from that. That's something I want to ask. Maybe I'm missing it. Yeah, there's nothing about organized crime here, because that was a big part of the 2020 source book. Criminal organizations moved into the city to take power. Yeah, but it doesn't really talk about like the families, you know, because there was like this struggle between gangs, the police, and organized crime. Organized crime didn't care much about the gangs. Oh, and the corporations, of course. So corporations, organized crime, police, and gangs. Those were the four like main power players in 2020 in the source book. And they all kind of like worked with each other in different ways. The organized crime hated corporations. That was like one of the cool things I thought about them, which is they're kind of, even though they're criminals and they're causing havoc, there's only two real organizations that they beef with, which is the police and corporations, which is basically every player of the game too, unless you're playing a lawman, you know what I mean? Like the police they get in the way of the players, and corporations are always the bad guy, and gangs are just a nuisance, and it's the same thing for organized crime. So I always felt like organized crime worked well with the players. They kind of were on the same wavelength most of the time. But yeah, I don't know why it's not really, yeah, we'll see. Okay. So it's all the way to 2045. What happened? That's good. I like that. It's good to read that. And then here's the artwork here. Let's take a look. This is by Neil Branquinho again. Man, that rain effect is so cool. Look at the red rain, the blood rain. The blood rain is crazy, dude. Yep, we got, you know, our influences, Asian influences, just regular people walking down the street. This lady's on a motorcycle in the rain with no helmet. Fucking either badass or dumb. And then Orisis Medical Center with the RE. I like that. Cool. That's very cool artwork. All right. So that's Devblog 2. Let's move to 3. Q&A with Jay Gray. I'm a poet and I don't know it. All right. This is a lot of reading. I think it's good to go through it. There's good stuff here. So, oh, hi there. You caught me posting this blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Let's go. Let's just get to the Q&A. Is Night City an independent city-state? No, Night City is part of the Free State of Northern California. It is, however, a free port, looser restrictions on corporations and businesses, and an independent city, which is a legal term meaning it is not part of a larger county. Okay. So, yeah, instead of it being like, you know, for example, I live in Los Angeles County, but I live in a, you know, whatever city I live in. Don't want to really dox myself, but I live in the city that I live in Los Angeles County. But Night City is its own like thing. It's not in a county. It's its own independent city, but it is part of the Free State of Northern California. Very cool. How does citizenship work? All right. NorCal citizens have a SIN number, and you're either, is SIN the last one? Isn't that N? Isn't the N the number? Anyway, you're either issued one at birth, apply for one, or are given one when you stand trial for a crime. You can hold multiple citizenships. Nomads rarely hold citizenship and instead have alternate arrangements for legal status. Yeah, so in 2020, nomads, like a slur for a nomad was to call them a zero because they didn't have an SIN number. And the reason they didn't is because they're nomads. They don't live in the city. They don't care to have it. And because they don't have an SIN number, they can't open bank accounts. They can't get loans. And they're kind of treated as like second-class citizens. That's what really happened to nomads. But then the time of red came around, and the nomads are the only ones that really survived the collapse that happened again. It was like a second collapse. And then everyone's like looking at the nomads for help. So now nomads are a little bit they're more respected, okay, because they helped facilitate trade and all kinds of stuff. So the fact that they don't have an SIN number is not really that important. It's really not looked at it that way. If you don't have an SIN and you're a nomad, you're probably going to be fine. There's alternative arrangements for legal status, as it says, so they have some special stuff for them. You're really just worried if you don't have an SIN number and you live in Night City and you're not a nomad, you know? So that can hurt you in some way, or just be, you know, not what you want. SIN, isn't that the same thing Shadowrun calls it? Well, they came out around the same time. SIN was in 2020 as well. So I'm sure that, you know, there might be like overlap on that. But this game the SIN numbers came out as soon as like 1989 when 2020 or 2013 released. So yeah, it's probably, you know, some cross stuff. How does travel to and from Night City work? Most people travel to and from Night City by car, plane, Sky Queen, rail, or long distance ferry service. Cost depends on mode of Cost depends on mode of travel and origin point / destination. There's a good chance you'll be dealing with a nomad somewhere along your journey. So yeah, there you go. See, this is what I'm talking about, where nomads are more respected. You want to get from one place to another. Well, guess what? There might not be infrastructure there, but there are nomads that can help you with that. So watch your P's and Q's. Don't be calling them zeros. But yeah, go by car, plane, Sky Queen, rail, or long distance ferry service. I don't see anything about buses, but I'm assuming buses also are there. Maybe not. Maybe there's no bus. Maybe like the railway and Sky Queen are. What's a Sky Queen? I guess it's like an AV service. Maybe it's AV busing, which means you get into a building, go to the top of the building, and then get into an AV. That's cool. I like that. Does driving in Night City require a license? Legally, yes, and only citizens can hold them. See, that's why you need the SIN number, right? No test needed. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, dude, I mute event sounds. Oh, okay. There's a button for that. Armitage Gibson, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you. Dude, that sound effect was from like back in the day when I used to, like, before my son was even born. So it's like over 8 years ago when I used to use that sound. If Jimmy's in chat, he'll get like flashbacks from that. But anyway, I appreciate the subscribe. Appreciate it very much. So yeah, so you don't need to take a driving test to get driver's license. That's crazy. Just pay the fee. Vehicles do not need to be registered to be legal. Okay, so I got to get your money somehow. Nomads have alternate arrangements, all right? So this is what it is. Like, before, they couldn't do what they wanted to do. Now they're more respected. So yeah, there you go. If you don't have an SIN number, you can't get a driver's license. You can still drive, but if you get pulled over, you're going to get hassled, okay? So it is what it is. What's public transportation like? NCART runs 4 subway lines reaching most districts. Good. Additional services via bus. Okay, so there's bus. Now also run by NCART and not NCTC is available. Execs of rank 4 or higher working for certain companies can take the executive monorail. Ooh. Ground taxis are available from Red Cab, Combat Cab, and Tiger Cab. Is that a Tiger Claws cab? Red Cab. Okay, so these are new. That's cool. There's like rival cab companies. Air taxis are available from Aerocab and Red Cab. Okay, so Red Cab does it all. Pedicabs and water taxis are also options. Dude, that's cool. There's so many taxi services. So many ways to get around. Now you understand why people don't have vehicles. No, there's no need to have a vehicle now. Unless you're going to be doing some shady things. So yeah, there you go. All right. How many seats are there in the city on the city council? Okay. Currently 23 manager seats and 14 advisory seats. Anyone can pay a fee for an advisory seat. but the cost is staggering, so most are held by corporations. All seats have voting power. Ah, so it's pay to win for the 14 seats where you get to whisper into the ears of the managers. So, you know, you can see how easily it can be corrupt in Night City. Literally, the Night City Council, 23 managers and 14 advisors. So the city is just raking in money from corporations because their advisory seat positions are insane. Probably like in the multi-millions, hundreds of millions, maybe even like, you know, we're talking the big B billion category. I don't know. That's yet to be determined, but I wouldn't be surprised, you know, because of the power that it gives you. Yeah, you're right, Binary. No mention of Delamain, which is interesting. I don't know why there's no like cross. Well, I guess because Delamain hasn't come out yet, right? Maybe there's gonna be lore in the book where it talks about how Delamain kind of started from Red Cab or something, you know. So we'll see. Is it legal to own a weapon in Night City? Yes and no. All right, this is important. I like this. Citizens and only citizens have the legal right to bear arms. You need that SIN number. You need it. Non-automatic handguns, rifles, and shotguns do not require a license. So non-automatic handguns, rifles, and shotguns do not require a license. Interesting. Interesting. Automatic weapons, sniper rifles, and heavy weapons require a license and weapon registration. Interesting. Interesting. This is big. That's big. So all your players that are buying assault rifles at character creation, they're also buying the license and the registration for it. So that's something to note. Explosives also require a special and expensive license. No rules against melee weapons. All right. Yep. Makes sense. Can't just be making bombs in your bathtub. If I remember, it is kind of around. Is it? I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember reading about Delamain being around. I don't know. What about drugs or BDs, brain dances? Most drugs are legal. Drugs causing humanity loss or whose primary use is chemical warfare. Looking at you, drugs from Solo Fortune 2045 are illegal. So yeah, so hardcore drugs are illegal. But party drugs and recreational ones are legal. You know, it's just another way to make money. They don't care what happens to you. You know, and then you overdose, you go to the hospital, and then Biotechnica makes money. So it's all good. BDs are legal. XBDs are not. XBDs, I think, are extreme brain dances. I don't remember what the X means, but they're basically like non-ethical brain dances. Like, you know, where a guy like wore a brain dance recording thing and went and like, you know, robbed a bank and killed a bunch of people. Like, you know, that's an illegal brain dance. Selling drugs and BDs is legal as long as you have a license, of course. Now, dude, drug dealers require a license. That's hilarious. Which is why black market sales by gangs still happen. Yeah. So if you want to get the good stuff, you get it from like the illegal stuff, you have to get it from gangs and fixers. But you know, like regular over-the-counter stuff you could just get from the store. You know, that's cool. What happened that way, you know what I mean? Like you go to a nightclub and they just provide you with the party drugs, right? They give you the stuff that isn't bad and isn't illegal because they have a license. The nightclub has a license to sell that kind of stuff. So that's cool. I like that. All right, what happens if I'm found guilty of a crime? All right. First, you probably will be found guilty. Wait, what happens if I'm found guilty of a crime? First, you probably will be found guilty. Yeah, babe. No, I didn't forget. I'm going to go after this. First, you probably will be found guilty. Congratulations, the system is stacked against you. Second, the punishment depends on the severity of the crime. So it might be like one of those situations where like if you're going to court, the conviction rate is insane. You know? I think like South Korea has like a conviction rate of like 90% or some crazy it's like a crazy number. It's a crazy. You know what? Why am I doing this? Let's Google it. South Korea conviction rate percent. It is often exceeding 99%. Jesus Christ. 99% is insane. That's insane. Oh my god, dude. That's insane. All right. Oof. That sent me reeling a little bit. It can be from a fine to local detention, in which case you're hired out as slave labor, to state prison. New Alcatraz is most common, to execution. Yeah, so that's nearby. New Alcatraz is San Francisco. You're in NorCal already, so it's like right there nearby. Oh, you can reduce your fine by submitting to an electro lashing. They sell tickets for that. That's crazy, dude. Just because, like, your punishment becomes a show for people, and then you can reduce your fine. That's insane. So, yeah, so think high conviction rate, high fine, pay to win, get out of the situation. All right, does Night City have 911 service? Yep, run by Ziggurat. Uh-oh, corporate run. You don't speak to a person, you speak to an SAAI. Then they hang up on you to free the line. Jesus Christ. Help, I'm dying. I'm sorry, I don't understand you. Are there schools? Some, yes. A few districts have honest-to-goodness physical schools. Most kids in Night City are educated by interactive brain dance programs at home, though. A whole new level of homeschooling right there. Whole new level. Brain dance to teach your kids. Might be better, actually. Then they don't get bullied, But who knows? Who provides electricity? Electricity is provided by PacCon Electric. Okay. PacCon Electric. It flows from a solar farm and wind turbines in the outskirts, and there isn't enough. Expect blackouts in some districts. Oh, okay. Solar farms and wind turbines in the outskirts. The outskirts is like where the nomads are. We've seen it in 2077. There isn't enough electricity to go around, so there's blackouts in some districts. Interesting. Does someone collect the garbage? Depends on where you live. The nicer the neighborhood, the more often the garbage trucks come by. Your city manager will contract with either Coastal Carting, a subsidiary of Petrochem, or SMKP Hauling, a subsidiary of Sovoil. Interesting. So Petrochem and Sovoil are the two companies handling disposal. I wonder if there's any landfills or transfer centers or what they do with the trash. What is entertainment? Oh, wait, we know what they do with the trash. In 2077 is a giant pile. That's where you are in the outskirts. What is entertainment like? All television is owned by either Net54 or the WNS-DMS Alliance. Radio is pretty robust, with multiple stations available. Micro stations capable of only broadcasting to a few blocks are popular among community groups. Oh, okay. Micro stations, interesting. Pirate stations pop up and vanish quickly, usually in a hail of gunfire. The two biggest scream sheets are Night City Today News and Augmented Optic, and of course there's the data pool, a collection of media and information shared via the CityNet. Another weak spot by me, I don't have, I was talking about it earlier. I think that, I need to be looking into this media stuff more, having these like stations, because this kind of information, it gets out there. The police and corporations don't like it. I mean, we saw earlier that the 14 advisory seats are probably mostly owned by corporations, and Arasaka definitely probably has a ban and is not allowed to be on that council, since they're banned from Night City in 2045. All right, let's look at this artwork. It is by Bad Moon Art. We love them. Here's a nice little crosswalk corner in Night City. We got diversity. We got guns and dolls. I like that. Guns and dolls, and they got an eggplant and peach emoji. Come on, bruh. Elfline's online ad right here. Cool. I love that. Yeah, and then here you have these security drones. Are these delivery drones or security drones? I can't tell. I can't tell whether they're delivery or security. Great something. I think they're delivery drones. I think they go around like delivering packages and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of diverse people. Here's a taxi. Much better than 2020. Cool ass car right here too. A lot of people have motorcycles. I'm seeing because it's just easier to zip through graffiti on the walls. Yeah, I mean, dude, this looks like downtown LA or San Francisco. So yeah, very cool. I like it. Yeah, I'd never heard of PackCon either. I think they're new. All right, Flashmaps. Here we go. We teased a bit of info that you'll find the Night City Facts chapter book. Following facts is Flashmaps. Maps of Night City tuned to a specific collection of location types. There are 4 flash maps in the book. N-cart and rail lines, bar, brothels, casinos and clubs, housing, medical markets. Okay, cool. For this preview, we'll break down numbers to give you an idea of how packed with information the flash maps are. Okay? N-cart and rail lines. 11 red line stations, 8 green line stations. Okay, so a bunch of stations. 13 executive monorail stations. So these are only execs can take these. I wonder if they could bring someone with them. Maybe that'll be explained. And 6 cargo line stops. Okay, so this is like moving stuff. So N-cart rail line heists. Here we come. Bars, brothels, 56 bars and clubs, 38 of which have signature drinks. Cool. And 12 casinos / brothels, 2 of which have signature drinks. I love that additional, they got their own little cocktails. 56 bars and clubs is crazy. That's a lot of them. I think it's going to be interesting to see. So some of them are probably going to be like gang hideouts, and we'll know about that. And some of them will just be like corporate hideouts. So very cool. Housing. 11 cube hotel locations, cool. 13 cargo container locations, 19 Conapt apartment locations, 5 housing, and 12 mixed housing. Okay, 13 corporate military locations. Dude, that's crazy. This is a lot. Medical market and markets. 40 medical locations, including drugstores and fashion wear artists. 31 markets, including bodegas and day markets, excluding retail specialty shops. Okay, so not the big specialty shops. So these are just like, little ones all over the place. Here's the map. What am I doing? There it is. Here's the map here. N-cart and rail lines. The numbered ones here. 1 to 31 are the N-cart lines. Oh no, it's 1 to 50. And then there's a executive monorail. I want to see how that moves. So as you can see, the purple line, it looks like it goes all around this way. It gets you all around the center of the city. It doesn't take you to these outer areas. But the yellow line takes you everywhere. So yellow line looks like is the most, or orange line might be the most common one. But I can see people using the blue line if you live in this area, the green line if you live here, and the red line takes you across the various bodies of water. But the yellow line is probably going to be the shittiest line. It's going to be the line that has like all the crime and all the, because it's the most used. It takes you everywhere. Yeah, look at that. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. That's cool. I like that. Very cool. So yeah, that's it. That's number 4. All right, I like that. Number 5, let's talk gangs. Okay, so this is cool. This is gonna be cool. Got a lot of gangs here. First off, every gang has a logo. Here's 4 fun examples that, unless you work for RTG or are the original artist, that you haven't seen. Here we go. We got the Deadwoods, the G3, the Iron Sights, and the Philharmonic Vampires. Of these 4, I only recognize the Philharmonics. These 3 I've never heard of. So cool. New gangs. 44 gangs, 6 criminal organizations, and 23 security providers. Very cool. For example, 6th Street and the Gold Dragons are both listed in the gang section. And the security provider. Oh, some of them overlap. Okay, cool. So 6th Street does security stuff too. That's where the Guardian gang that we were just talking about, the Protectors, I believe is what they're called. We recently came back from Louisville, Kentucky, and I've been inspired by walking the tours. I entered there to present 20 facts in a did you know style. Little note from Rob here. These were pretty cool for all the bourbon stuff. Not that I am biased for bourbon or anything. Stick around to see a sneak peek of a new piece of artwork. Okay. So this is all did you know facts. Cool. I would recommend you guys go check it out. I don't think I'm going to go through all of them. I'll read this. 6th Street provides protection to multiple locations in Night City, including Holy Angels Church, the First Baptist Church of Night City, Minimalism, and Aerocab. Dude, I mean, I would imagine they're a much bigger gang in 2077 then. I wonder what happened in between, because they're kind of just like a run-of-the-mill gang in 2077. But if they've been protecting the streets, that means people might even like them, you know? Like, you save somebody's mom, they're going to like you, you know? Here's the artwork. Where are we? Are we in the Coyote? No, this is just like a regular... Okay, so this is like a bar somewhere. Some kind of like super dive bar. They got an Elf Lines arcade. Segatari. Edge Runners Inc. Firearms and ammunition. Cool. Real meat every day. That's sure it is. Visit the Pantheon. What is that? I've never seen that. And then, yeah, we just got run of the mill, like regular people just doing their thing. We got a Sikh guy right here. Baskin Books, credit loans. Okay, cool. Very cool. Kibble. Oh, look at this. It's a kibble dispenser. So cool. Bring your own cup. Bring your own bowl. Different flavors of kibble. That's awesome. Stocked daily. All right, number 6, District Design Rundown. All right, here we go. This is, let's check out this piece of art. This is Little Europe security. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Security codes 7, NCPD hardened medium, utility code 3. Okay, so utility code is a new thing. We don't know what that is yet, but this basically means that this area is very well guarded. So there's Night City Police. It's not 6th Street. It's the actual police department with Max Tech on call. You know, they have AVs flying around. They have beat cops. They have the whole deal. So that's pretty cool. It's me, Ziggy, front page. Media 7. What does that mean? Frequent star contributor to the Night City Today News. As an independent media, I prefer to go where the work is and where the Eurobooks are. Instead of doing glorified puff pieces in the hopes that some mouth-breathing suit sees my work and wants to offer me a name, badge, and dental insurance. I can't buy food with exposure, but getting paid to do a field guide with Trace Santiago while keeping total creative control over my copy? Count me in. Enough with that. Let's talk Little Europe. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's fun. It's flavorful. So each district begins with an image offering a visual of the area. So yeah, let's look at that. We didn't really look at the image. So we got a pretty run-of-the-mill kind of area. We got a corporate guy. We got some corporates here. So yeah, we got people of all walks of life here. It looks pretty safe. You know, it doesn't look like anybody is like carrying any open weapons. There's construction going on. There's ads. I'm guessing this is some kind of brothel. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't look too Little Europe looks like a place where you can like live a normal life. Oh, here we go. So security code indicates the local authorities' general likelihood of the Media 7 is his role rank. Got it. Thank you. The security code indicates local authorities' general likelihood of responding to suspicious and criminal behavior on the street. The higher the number, the more attention local authorities pay to potential and actual threats and crimes. Speaking of authorities, after the number is the organization most likely to respond should there be trouble. Then a rating, light, medium, or heavy, to guide the GM in how intense a response is likely. If the response is hardened, that is noted as well. Okay, so basically, security code 7, it's out of 10, so 7 is like almost 10. NCPD, Night City Police Department, hardened means it's going to be the elite guys from Night City Police, and medium. So it's like 50-50 whether they're going to show up or not, depending on how severe the incident is. Utility code helps guide the GM in deciding if a location's utilities, usually power, water, and CityNet, are functioning. The lower the number, the less likely a utility failure. So they did high on the security code, more stringent, low on the utility code is better. So this is good. 3 is good. That means you're probably not going to have a blackout there. These rules will be fully explained in the book. Okay. What follows the image is an introduction to the district and media writing its entry. We'll also share information about the city manager, population, security provider, and recent history. Yep, like they said earlier. Okay, this is cool. I want to see this. So this is like the legend of the area. So this is Little Europe. And these are literally what streets you'll take. I love it. Here's the yellow end cart line, right? I believe. Or is that just the yellow streets? I'm not sure. No, yeah, it's the end cart line. Because these are like the main boulevards. Martin Luther King Boulevard, interesting. Yeah, Camden Court, Choppers, Continental Brands, Greta's, Holy Angels Church, Old St. Christopher Center, Night City Corp, HQ, Night Corp. Sopranos, Shady Oaks Elementary. Very cool. Red Cab Company. Okay, cool. There's a lot of cool stuff here. I'm sure all this stuff will get explained too, which is awesome. Next comes the map. Yep, that's the map. You'll find all the symbols indicating end cart stations. Yeah, so red, dotted line. Oh, yeah, and so the blue, this is like where the pickups are. Red and blue station, exec monorail, 6th Street influence, Eurotrashers influence, and Maelstrom influence. Huh. Oh, so it's telling you like that's their zone. So this is like the 6th Street zone. Cool. I like that. Yeah, it's cool to tell your players like you're in 6th Street territory. I'm not going to read all this, but let's pick one. Let's pick this Continental Brands vertical neighborhood. So security code 8. So each neighborhood has their own security code too. So this is like high security. 8. Continental Brand security, hardened, light. Okay. So light response means like, you know, a handful of guys will show up, but they're elite. And it's Continental Brands security, like their own security. The Continental Brands vertical neighborhood is sometimes called Flavors of the World because of the Continental Brands slogan hanging over the front door. Continental Brands originally built it as exclusive housing for their employees before the suits in charge realized they had more floor space than workers and opened it to occasional outsiders. Yeah, they're like, we're wasting real estate. The complex is notorious because it's a nightmare to navigate. Each floor is laid out like a movie version of a different country's old world market. Oh my God, that's crazy. Complete with winding streets, street vendor holograms, and even scent vents that pump out the aroma of non-existent street food. The actual Con-App doors are disguised to look like storefronts, making it all more befuddling. Imagine living in Ye Old Pie Shop instead of apartment 5C. Oh man, that's crazy. The place is so confusing that some of the local kids here hire themselves out as guides. Fast Eddie, Fixer 1. Oh my God, he's a Fixer rank 1. Fast Eddie is the most reliable of the bunch, and his rates are the most reasonable. 10 Eddies for an ambush-free experience. Continental Brands refuses to change the building's layout, but got lost. Continental Brands refuses to change the building's layout, but got lost in a maze is also not a valid excuse for showing up late to work. Yeah, so this reminds me of a homebrew like arcology that I made myself. So in the 2020 sourcebook, there's like a parking lot that's like a mega parking lot, and all it says is just a mega parking lot that goes underground, and people can park their cars there because obviously Night City has a parking problem because it's so over populated. So basically, I suppose, like, what if that parking lot, because it's so vast and large and underground, that the police, like, it's so hard for them to get to like floor 40 that they don't even bother going there. So people have just kind of run amok down there, and then now there's just like markets down there. So the lower you go into the parking lot, the more crazy it gets. Like some people will be like, "Oh, I don't go past floor 20, dude. You're crazy if you go past floor 20." Or like I don't even know what's at floor 45, you know? So that's the kind of idea. And I suppose that the parking lot was taken over by people, and like it's a market and people live there. It's like basically like a hut city, you know what I mean? So, and the police just can't really do anything about it. They're like, whatever, dude. People die down there. There's nothing we can do about it. Like, we're not going to go send our guys down there, you know? So it's kind of the same thing, but this goes up instead of down. And it's a lot easier to enforce the law. Sorry, I had a brain fart. All right. Here we go. Following the map are location listings. They start with a number corresponding to its marker on the map, then the name. Under the name is security rating, which might be the same as the districts or might be different. Okay. So here we go. Yeah, these are NPCs basically. We got Jack Sawyer, he's a 6 tech. Kate Mulvaney, she's a 6 solo. And Kenshiro Saiba, he's a lawman solo. Oh, this guy's... Kenshiro works as a private investigator in Little Europe, where he picked up the nickname the Night Hunter. Ooh. He is especially skilled at tracking down missing persons. Years ago, he saved Yakuza princess Yasume Kanzaki from a kidnapper. The two fell in love, but Yasume's brother Shin disapproved. Word is, he's still crazy about her even now. So here is a stat block for an NCPD beat cop. He's a hardened mook. So this is a... very cool. I like this. You don't even have to look anywhere. It's all here. You know? Very, very cool. Very cool. So there you go. That's that. All right. Let's do the last one here. I was possibly going to do the Invented Tech Upgrades free DLC, but I think I'll have to do that in a separate video because that is cool. I want to take a look at that. So this came out today. Island Districts. This time around, Jay Gray will take you on a whirlwind tour of the island and north side. For this journey, we'll be picking and choosing which information to share from the opening facts. Okay, here we go. The island, Little Europe. City manager Amanda Polishchuk. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Retired solo, known as the Pole, even though she's Ukrainian American. Interesting. Doesn't like downtown city manager Amelia Ortega. Ooh, drama. Drama. Population tends towards working class, or if you prefer, not totally destitute. All right, so this is like middle class, working class people in Little Europe. All right, and it's run by a retired solo. Interesting. Security provider NCPD, known to look for excuses to stop and frisk. So they're ready to come at you. You know, he's reaching for a gun. Recent history. Remember that mass addiction event that marked the start of the Bozo Civil War a few months back? Good times. Oh, geez. So it happened in Little Europe. Interesting. That's probably why security is so harsh with the NCPD. Random location number 1, 10. What is this number? Maybe it's a legend, like telling you it's number 10. Everything and more. Once a major department store, now just a big bodega. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So, yeah, it'll be on the map labeled as number 10. It's called Everything and More. Once a major department store, now just a big bodega. Yeah, so it's like a swap meet. It's a swap meet, basically. If you guys have ever been to one. Random location number 2. Kaito Market. Open air day market setup. Thursday to Sunday. Tattoos, apps, firearms, food, knockoff goods, fortune telling, hairdressing, and tacos. Okay. So it's like a, run-of-the-mill citizen type of... It's like a mall, basically. You know what I mean? An outdoor mall is what it is. Very cool. All right. I'm not going to go through all these. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's the Glen. I mean, this is a lot of good information. I recommend you guys go check it out. I might do a random location here. Let's see. Here in Old Combat Zone. Brick Coleman, born here, raised here, left to become a merc, came back with plenty of money and a dream to integrate the Old Combat Zone into Night City proper. Yikes. Okay. He's gentrifying the combat zone. Alice's, a brothel run by the Iron Sights on behalf of the Wang Fang Tong. Most clients come from wealthier parts of the city and visit here to avoid their specific kinks being noticed. Yikes. So this is a gang-run brothel. Interesting. I don't know who Wang Fang Tong is. Never heard of them, but I'm sure we'll find out about them. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. All right, I want to talk about this. So NorCal military base. Let's talk about this. General Ash Giovanni. Pokemon fans out there? Advanced in years, he uses a custom linear frame to keep up with the troops. Population. Everyone on base is a member of the Estero Bay Military Combined Operation Group, COG. So let me tell you what a COG is, all right, for you guys out there. Basically, in 2020, when the collapse happened, or right before the collapse happened, right before 2020, all of the military of the United States realized, like, hey, we don't really have a chain of command anymore. The government has collapsed, but we have all of our resources together. So, I'm sorry. No. I'm thinking of something else. Rewind. Because of the collapse, the government realized that they don't really have all of their resources the way that they did. Their Air Force, their Army, their Marines, their Navy, they were all kind of diminished in various ways. So instead of trying to bring their Air Force back up as an Air Force, what they did is they combined certain operation groups together and called them a COG. So, for example, in California, you would have an Air Force base, you have an Army base, you have a Marine base, and you have a Navy in the Pacific Ocean, right? Combine all those guys into one COG and call them whatever the COG is, which is probably, this one is called the Estero Bay Military Combined Operations Group. So the Estero Bay COG is in Night City. They probably have everything, you know, that a COG would have. It says it right here, actually. Here we go. Security provider, COG military police, of course. There's the cops and soldiers both. NCBD hardly ever set foot on base because they don't have to, because these are soldiers that are watching it, all right? In the past year, 29 military personnel were lost to actions against bandits, pirates, and self-replicating mines. And an additional 75 are MIA due to a ship lost at sea. So we know they have a Navy, and they've had a lot of marina problems. So random location, the Potentilla, 5 buildings arranged like the petals of a flower, the headquarters of the COG component forces, all right? Including Task Force 384, probably infantry, the 157th Tactical Air Squadron, AVs and jets, the 223rd Battalion, probably more infantry. These guys are probably special forces, and then these guys are like just regular infantry. And then the 120.8 Engineer Battalion. So these guys are like sappers and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like a big giant military base. You got jets, you got, you know, ships, you got aircraft carriers, you got all kinds of stuff going on there. So, and then they're all one group, and they all are loyal to their COG before they are loyal to the, like, their, you know, the COG is like their family. And actually there is a nomad group that was a COG that decided, like, why are we taking orders from a non-existent government that licks the boots of corporations? Let's just start our own family nomad group. We have all this equipment, you know, we have tanks, we have guns, we have all the stuff that we need. Let's just make our own little nomad group, get our families, get our loved ones, get our friends, gather them with us. We'll all protect each other. Unfortunately, their name is not very creative. They're just called the Soldiers. But I've used them in my campaign. It's just an interesting concept, though. I like that idea that a COG, like, basically didn't desert, but like annex themselves, because they still help the government. You know, the government can still call on them, but it's more like a favor kind of thing than it is an order, you know? But anyway, yeah, that's it. Very cool. Let's look at this artwork. This is awesome. Looking, yeah, man, cool. We got Tiger Claw graffiti on the street. Interesting. There's Trauma Team. Hiroto Miyamoto Memorial Clinic. Cool. Nakagawa Academy. Very cool. Yeah, considering there's Tiger Eats. Yeah, this is Arasaka territory, all but in name. That looks like this 3G is also some kind of Arasaka affiliate or Japanese affiliate, or you know, if they're tagging in the same location as the Tiger Claws, they might be rivals, they might be allies, but they have Japanese influence. This guy's on a sick ass wheelchair over here. And then we got, this guy right here. Oh, you guys can't see the wheelchair guy. My bad. Here he is. Wheelchair guy. Yeah, wheelchair guy's right here. Anyway, that's about it, man. I think we did it. We did it, Chooms. Very cool. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this source book. Now that Jay's all wrapped up, it's my turn. Robert here. Make sure to let all your Cyberpunk Red is coming back. Oh yeah. I said that in the beginning. All right, cool. That's it, Chooms. We did. That's awesome. I can't wait, to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to the Night City source book. I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be one of those things that's going to transform your games. And it's a really fun read just to sit there, like on the train, on the bus, whatever, on your lunch break, and just go through it and let the inspiration guide you. Let your players explore it, explore the locations, and just have fun with it, man. Just have fun. All right. Well, Chooms, I'm going to go do some laundry. I really appreciate you guys supporting and being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, have wonderful games. Tell me in the comments what you're most excited